Hi, all. Welcome to Super Coders. So in this tutorial, we are going to work with like how to create dummy data for category, how to create dummy data for product, how to create dummy data for product review, and how to create dummy product question, file input component. So previously we created a file input component. Next, we are going to enhance this file input component to make it JSON input. After that, we are going to work with our decorator to creating a common API for product list, creating a common API for review list. So that will reduce our code. So basically here I'm creating a common list API which has feature like sorting, searching, ordering, and also have feature like item per page. So basically I'm creating a common decorator which we are gonna use it in our all the list view APIs. So basically I'm gonna create 6 API which we're gonna integrate in our front-end application for managing the reviews and managing the product questions. After that, we are going to work with our user list API. So basically, we can use this user list API to show user list data in the dropdown. After that, we are going to work with our review image. So we can preview the image in our category page. Then we are going to work with our preview product images. So we can preview the product images also. We are going to work with our manage question. So you can manage all the questions in one go. We can toggle the status and update the status and add a new status. After that, we can add a new questions in the product questions. So basically, we are going to work with product reviews. We can view all the product reviews. We can manage the product reviews. We can active and deactive the product reviews, and even we can add new reviews. After that, I'm going to show you how you can use React hook form in our simple React form. So let's get started and let's work on this tutorial. And also, if you are new to channel, please subscribe our channel and please like the video. And if you have any question, please do comment. Now let's get started. So first, just deleting my all the categories, products, product reviews, and product question data. So let's delete it. Let's import some dummy data for categories, products, and product questions and product reviews. But before working on that, let's do some changes in our category model. So earlier, if you remember, I work on the category section or category model. I use the field for image text. That what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna change this image field from text to JSON field. And we have done some changes in the file input components, which is like JSON stringify, converting the string data to JSON data and JSON to string. So I'm gonna eliminate all these things and make this working as a completely JSON. So just come back to VS Code, and after that come into the backend, come into your project, come into the product service, models, and here if you see the image field, I'm going to change it to JSON field. So what I'm going to do, I'm just using all the file inputs, all the other inputs, which is exactly like images, files. I'm changing it to a JSON field. So change it to JSON field. After that, save it. Now after that, make it blank true and null true. Now after that, save this file and let's run the migration command. So come into view, terminal, and here shutting down the server, then running the migration command. So Python manage.py make migrations. So that run the migrate command, migrate. Now it's done. After that, coming back to my file input component. So in the front end, in the src, in the component, file input component, and also restart the server again. Now close it. And in the file input component, here we are just taking as a JSON string. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just using the completely JSON data. So here remove all these things. And here directly parse it as a JSON. We don't want to convert it to string and using a string data. So I'm just checking whether the data is array or not. If it is array, just use it as an array. Don't need to parse it because I am already converting the data to JSON data. That's why. And the reason for converting here is just using JSON.stringify. So remove it. I'm just passing my complete JSON data. Because in the future things for reviews and other things, I'm going to use this file input component everywhere. That's why I make it a common component for file input component. Like we can use this component to upload file to our server and use it everywhere. So that's it. Our file is now saving in JSON data and we can convert it the data to JSON. So if I check or just come to Chrome, open React app, refresh page. Right now we don't have any category. Try to add a simple category. Add category. There is no parent. Click on next. Giving the name food, display order 1, next caption, food description, next selecting the images, select images. I'm selecting these 3 images right now. Click on upload files. After that file is uploaded, now simply submit this file and it's done. You can see our images get rendered by our method which we created earlier. And here if I try to edit it, I can see detailed information in files and documents. I can see my files. So that is working right now. So we can fix the parsing issue by using our field from text to JSON. So in that way, we can use JSON field. Now you can send the JSON data and receive the JSON data and parse the JSON data. Now after that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna import some dummy data in our database. So here I'm taking help from ChatGPT to create a dummy data and import in our database. So just follow me. I'm gonna do this thing. And here I have to import data in our product, reviews, questions, and categories. So let's try to create some dummy data. So what I'm gonna do, just come to VS Code and opening my database model. So open backend. Let's close this file. Close this file also. Open this file. So here the category model. What I'm gonna do, just copy this. And if I see my user ID, so currently I'm creating for my user ID. If I check the data, and it has domain user ID 3. So I'm gonna create it for domain user ID 3 because 3 is my user ID. Because 3 is my user ID. If I try to open it, I can see 3 is the default user ID which I just logged in. So what I can do, coming to ChatGPT, now let's click enter and let's see what it is doing. So I think it is generating our query. Just hold on. So here it's generate our insert query for 20 data or 20 category. Just copy the code, coming to my database and deleting the old category, delete it, browse it, then coming to the operation tab and here changing it auto increment from 4 to 1. After that, let's run my insert query. So come to SQL, just pasting my query and here changing the table name. So insert in this table name, just copy it, change it here. And here if you see one more thing, here parent ID in our model is parent ID, but it is adding as a parent ID underscore ID. So ChatGPT understand like if you create table in the database, it will add underscore ID by a foreign key. So suppose that you are using foreign key in database in Django, it will add underscore ID in your database, but it will not show in your model. So Django by default create underscore ID in your database. If you see, it is showing pen underscore ID underscore ID. So it is by default created by Django in our database side. So ChatGPT understand that. That's why it keep query with our model, then adding underscore ID for the foreign key data. Now after that, simply uh, try to run the query. So copy it, and here it is also asking your app category. So change it also here. Just copy it, change it here, change it here. Simply click on go. Disable this. Go, and here do one more thing. One simple thing. Here change this to 1. Here change this to 1. So I'm assuming like if I insert the data for electronics, it will go with ID 1. That's why I'm giving the parent ID 1 for the laptop and smartphone. Same way I'm doing this for also tablets 1. This one also 1. And for fashion, I think this will be, let's do one thing. Just try to insert this data at right now. Just copy it, paste it. It should not be comma. Semicolon. Copy it, run it, and here we go. This time data get inserted. If I check, I can successfully insert my data, and I can check my parent ID 1, which is related to electronics. Now after that, if I insert data, it will go with 6. So just do one thing, remove this data, copy it, and again insert it in database. Square, paste it, try to insert. Here in fashion, it is showing some error. I think one thing is missing. Added by user ID and values also gone. Try to check again. So here, if I see the first line, this value get missing. Just copy it. Now paste it. Now it is perfect. Insert queries with values. Click on go. Okay, it should be our table name. Just copy table name, paste it, save it, go, and here we go. Our data get inserted. If I check finally, I can see my data. If I see 18, 18, 18 is for twice and game, that is perfectly mapped. Then we have 15 for this sports and outdoor. Then we have 11 for homes and garden. It is perfect. 6 also perfect. 1 also perfect. So finally our dummy data for category has been created. And if I check in our application, refresh page, I can see all the categories and everything. Right now, we don't have able to see the images. For me, I am seeing my old data. I can change the children also. So what I can do right now, I'm going to insert more data right now. But before that, let's fix this image issue. So come to VS Code, and here coming to my front end, then open SRC, open your utils, helper method, and here I have done some thing here. Like if you see, I'm just parsing my image and also checking a valid URL here. But suppose that if it contain image, right now we are dumping the image which don't have extension JPG, GIF or PNG. Then what I can do? If image dot length greater than 0, return this data. Else here check if URL length is greater than 0. Then if it is URL, simply return it. So here just I add condition. If image length greater than 0, return the image with 0 extension, 0 index. If it is URL, so I can return the URL. Like it is not able to find any images, but it contains some URLs. So I'm going to return the URL. Next, what I can do here, same way, just use the same logic. If image dot length greater than 0, return image 0. Else, if URL dot length greater than 0, return URL. Else, return URL. Save it. Back to Chrome. Now, if I see again this tab, you can see it's working fine. I can see my all the images. If I see the child item, I can see the images. So that is working right now. So I just simply parse the data exactly. Right, earlier it is not showing as an image because it doesn't have the extension .jpg, png or anything. That's why I parse the URLs and return the first URL index, and it's working right now. Now after that, let's do one more thing. I'm gonna import some data in our category, in our product, then in our reviews. So just come into my database, open products. Let's import some data. So here, import data. Right now, just come to again VS Code, coming to my backend, coming to the project, e-commerce inventory, product service, open models, and just copy this model data. I'm going to import model data. Just paste it, and here I'm going to define it like what I needed. Uh, Create one record first. Let's try to insert first data. I don't want to use the previous problem here. So try to use this first example. Just use this table name and category name. Just change it here. The category name. Just copy it category name. Change it here and just try to insert it. And it's done. I can successfully insert my first data, and if I try to check it in the products, you can see I can see my products. It's showing perfectly. You can see it is showing perfectly. So what I can do, I'm just coming to ChatGPT, use or replace to actual product table, replace your app category to product service category and create 30 insert record. Let's check it what it is gonna do. Insert. So here it is getting the 30 records. Just hold on. So here it's done. It's just create my 20 or 30 records, I think. I'm just gonna copy it, come into my database, come to SQL and running the command. Come into the products, SQL, and paste my command. Try to insert it, disable the foreign shape and go. And it insert my 20 records. I think it's only generate 20 records, but that is okay. Let me try to ask more data. Generate more 20. So again it generate my record. Just gonna copy it and use it. So copy it. Come to database, SQL, paste my query, foreign check disable, and go. And after that, I have put out 24 records. So that's enough for us to play with data. If I come to manage product again, I can see my old products. It is showing the old products. It is showing the images also. If I click on next, I can see the other things also. Click on next. Right now the category is not mapped properly, but that is okay. Even I have some dummy data which I can see and do everything. If I click on okay, it's showing some error. Let me check this page. It is showing wrong data. It must be in the key value format. So right now I'm just doing what? I'm updating my old specification data to null. Update. Equal to blank array. Blank array. Where one and go. Okay, that's it. If I check again to manage products, if I check specification, right now it is blank. Description is showing description. Highlights. You can see graphics and features. If I check other things, SEO keywords, it is okay. If I check additional details, I can see the additional details also. Coming to my edit page. So coming to the edit page, check. Coming to the edit page, I can see the details. I can see all the details. Detail information also showing. Additional details. Right now it is not showing. So let's fix this additional details. So last time I say I need to fix this additional details also. It is showing. It is not showing the default value. So for this, what I can do? Just come to my VS Code and just close this. Okay, let's leave this model. We are gonna use it. Just close this backend and open the front end. Open SRC. Then in the components, in our JSON input component, here we are not setting any default value. So what I can do? Use effect. And here adding blank, no data. So this will trigger when our component is getting ready. Then if field dot default, if there is any default value, then simply set key value pairs, setting the array, then copying the default data and also taking the old data. So dot taking the old key value pairs and taking the default data. So in that way, I have my old data, I am writing the new data and getting a new array. So copying the old key value pair, copying the old data and getting a new array and setting this field. So save it back to Chrome. And if you see, it is working right now. I can see my old data, performance, exception, key value, 1, 2, warranty, and if I try to add some more thing, design, then I can add like size 24, graphics, RAM 16 GB, keywords, laptop, support, warranty, uh, give it test and test 1 2 3. I don't know exact data. So next, there is 2 images showing. Click on submit. I think I already have images. It is asking for one more images. So let's add one more images. Try to submit it. If I try to edit it again, coming to the data information, additional data, I can see my old data and the new data which I added. In this way, I can see my old data and new data. You can see it is working fine. Coming to the documents and file, I can see the new files and everything. So that is working fine. I just fix my file input. I just fix my file input. I just fix my key value pair input, which is JSON input. Now let's import some dummy data for our questions and review, because next thing we are going to work with these questions, review, creating the APIs and working on that. So what I can do, just come to my database, open the questions. So after that, let's create data for questions. So coming to VS Code and open my model, database model, product service, models, and just copy my product model, just copy it, come into the Chrome, come into ChatGPT, paste it, and here what I can do, getting this data. So create paste our query and try to just run it. Go, and if I see, I can insert my whole data in our database. Right now it is whole in active state. It make it some inactive. Inactive. Then I have question user ID, domain user ID, and product ID. All is perfect right now. Let's create some reviews. So come to reviews. Again come to VS Code. And this time copy this model. Generate. And into SQL. Paste it. Let's make it foreign check disable. Click on go. And here we go. It gives me 26 records and I perfectly insert in our database. After that, let's see it's working or not. So we are gonna create some API for our review and for question. Create a list view API. So earlier we created a list view API for categories and products, but this time I'm gonna use some different approach. I'm gonna create my decorator, my own decorator, which we can use it to extend our methods. So if you see our code, the previous one, coming to controller, category controller, and here if you see this data of this category and this product controller is almost same. We have just need to change the model. So instead of using this way, why I can create a on decorator that is gonna use it to make it our writing this code. We don't need to use it this way. Instead of that, we can create a decorator. We can create our own decorator. We're going to implement that decorator in this API, and using that decorator, we can just change this data by passing the data in decorator, and it will just render our complete code. We don't need to write this repeated code again and again. So that's why we need to use some time decorator. Decorator is very useful to override our default function behavior and implement our custom logic and writing our own custom logic. That here I'm going to use decorator to remove the duplication of code. Here, if I want to create again a API for reviews and API for images, review images and product questions, then I'm gonna use it again, copy this code and paste it again and again, pasting the code. That I don't wanna do. I'm gonna create my decorator and gonna implement that decorator in this API. So instead of writing the code again and again, it will decrease our code and we just need to write a less code. We just need to create a structure and passing our model, it will render our data. So how you can do this? Just follow me. So first, just come to just copy this code. Just copy this code. So copy it and coming to my e-commerce inventory, copy it, coming to helpers, and here in the helper method, I'm gonna creating my own decorator. So what I can do first, just creating a class common list API mixin, and here first adding serializer class equal to none, then pagination class equal to custom page number pagination. After that, we don't wanna change this default query set, so just paste our complete code. And here what I can do in the default query set, we don't want to do anything because we want to change everything in our list method. So what I can do is cut this code and here just adding is not implemented. So the parent method which we are going to implement this method, it needs to be implement get query set method. We don't want to change this get query set method from the this common method. This get query set method you need to define in your calling class like product list API, product API, manage category API. There need to implement the get query set. Here we wanna override the only list method. So right now what I can do, just getting define common list decorator and here passing serializer class. After that, defining my decorator. So define decorator list underscore method, then add the rate wraps list method, then define wrapper wrap list method self request asks. So the defined wrap list method is exactly this method, define list method, and here we don't need add the rate. So this defined list method is exactly same this method. You can say self, args, request, and coming from all this from the parent. So just remove this method because we are going to use this method. After that, for query set, I can simply say query set equal to self dot query set. And I think we need to import wraps. So from function import wraps so that scroll down. Then after that, here the query set, there is some code removed. Just check it. Here if I see the category controller, we need all this code here. Okay, paste it. So earlier this query method is running on query set. Right now I'm using my list method. So search query. If search query, search condition, Q for field in categories. So here I don't want to use categories. Instead of that, I'm going to use my serializer. And from serializer, I'm going to access the model. So for this, serializer class, serializer class dot model dot meta dot get field. From serializer, I'm getting my model, and from the model, I'm getting my all the fields. Then for the instance field, we need to import model. So again, from Django DB import Q, from Django DB import models. After that, that is perfect. Ordering is perfect. Next, we have pagination code. So earlier we have written two code in the query set. This code is running, but right now I moved this all the code in the list method. So we don't need to write all this thing on our query set method also. For that, in this indent, so first it is searching, then it is finding the data, the search query, and after that it just change the order, and after that it just change the pagination. So I just use the default code. You can see I just copy the same code which is written in the category and product, only change this to dynamic class name. That's it. Now after that, if I see all the thing is okay right now. So here return data, response data, total pages, total items, and here we can see data retrieved successfully because we don't know which model we are calling. So that is okay. Then we need to return the method. We need to return the method. So return wrap this method, return this method which is created. Then we need to return the decorator. So after that, return decorator. And I think that is okay. Our decorator is ready. You can see I just use the default code and make it dynamic to work with our data. Now after that, save this file and we're gonna implement this in our controller for category and products. So for category, come into the category. Just remove this pagination first because this is gonna use from our decorator. So remove it. Also from the query side, we don't need all these things because that is all coming from our the parent method, or you can say the decorator method. After that, that is okay, I think. And in the list method, we don't want to use this. So just copy all this code and remove it. You just simply need a method define list cell request, then ask. It should be ask, then coax. After that, now after that, here we need to call up parent method or super method. But for calling super method, we need to implement our custom class or custom decorator here. Then we can call the super method. So first we need to call super method. So return super dot list paste arcs and coax. But that is gonna not work until we didn't add our decorator. So for adding decorator, that is simple concept. Use add the rate, then our class name. Just copy the class name, copy it, then add our decorator method. So common list decorator and passing our serializer. That's it. Let's import this decorator. Import it. Changing the path. I think that is okay. Now you can see our decorator is imported. Common list method, and we can just reduce our whole code, and we can just pass our serializer name, serializer data. You can say, or you can say serializer class, and the whole code get removed. It will just come from our common list decorator, and we can use it here. Now let's try it's working or not. So save it, back to Postman. After that, try to first login with my admin account, because admin has some categories and data. Save it, login. And if I try to access the category API, category list API, try to exit it, means some error. Category serializer has no module, no attribute model. So there is some error. Let me fix that. Sometimes this has happened. Okay, I got the issue, I think. So come to VS Code. So here is one small mistake which I need to fix it. From accessing the model from serializer, we need serializer class, serializer class dot meta dot model. So in that way you can access the model. That's why it is showing error here in model. Now save it, back to Postman, and let's check. Click on send, and here we go. It's working. It is showing invalid page because I use one, and we need to remove the search, then send, and here we go. It's working fine. I can get my whole data in the category in the previous format. You can see it's working fine in the previous format. So I just reduce our code in a common method using decorator, and using decorator we can create a simple API for category. So same thing what I gonna do for product. So if I come to product API, same thing I'm gonna do for here also. So just do one more thing. Just copy this same code, only this code copied, and come to product controller, and here in the product list view, move all these things. You don't need it. Simply return here query set. Return query set. And here paste our code. So here just change this serializer. This should be product serializer. Paste it and import it. Okay, that's it. Save it. After that, come into the Postman. And if I check product API, and you can see it is working fine. And you can see it is working fine. So I replace the whole complete code into a small code using Decorator. Let's check into our front-end application. So refresh page. You can see it is working as previously. If I go to next page, it's working again. If I click next again, it's working fine. Same way, if I try with category, you can see it's working fine. Now after that, let's work on the other APIs. So basically we need to create API for our product questions and product reviews. And also I'm going to create API for add questions, then update reviews and update questions. So let me show you how you can do this. Just come to VS Code and coming to my URLs.py in the product service. After that, we need to create some URLs for our list of reviews, list of questions. So again, adding the uh, path, then product reviews, and here simply add product reviews, then passing the product ID, str, product underscore id product review list view dot as underscore view name equal to product review list. Then copying the same method, this time using for product questions, product ID, then changing this to product questions list view, and here changing it to product question list. Then I'm gonna create it again. This time create product question in the product ID, then create product question view, here product question create, copying the same again, this time update product question and product ID. Then we need to access the primary key, or you can say the ID which I'm gonna update. Update product question view. Update the product question. Update. Next, we need to add one more method. Create product question, update product question, then create product review, create product review, here not come the pk plus create product question, update product question, create product review, create product review, product review, create, copy it again, update, change it to update product review, accessing the pk which is primary key. Then after that, change this to update product review view, product review, update, save it. So basically I create here same API. So I create API for listing the review, adding new review, and updating the reviews. Let's do one more thing. Here make it group wise. Product review API, product question API, list, create, update. Same here also, list, create, update. Now let's create this API. So it should be exist in our product controller. So just import it right now. Right now I didn't create it, but I'm gonna create it later. First I'm gonna import it. Now what I can do, just come into this view, copy it, save it, come to product controller, and here I'm gonna create first two serializers. One is for product questions and one is for product reviews. So class product review serializer, model serializer, then here I'm gonna taking class meta, class meta, model equal to product reviews, and field equal to or. Let's import these product reviews. Here it's imported. And let's do one more thing. Just pasting my all these view here as a comment. I'm gonna create it, but I'm just pasting here for using. Let's create one more serializer for our review. For our question. So class product question serializer model serializer class meta product questions imported. That's it. So these questions come from our model. Here in the model I use product reviews and I use product questions. So I created this to serializer. Now save it. Now after that, let's create this API product review list. So scroll down, just copy the same, paste it. This time change this to our product review list view. Change this serializer also. So product review list view. It will be product review list serializer, review serializer. Then here it will be products reviews dot objects dot filter. Domain user ID, and after that we need to pass our product ID. So for accessing the product ID, we can use the product underscore ID equal to self dot self dot quarks dot get. You can use get or directly passing it by as a index. Product ID. So accessing quarks and product ID. So the quarks value product ID is coming from the URLs. If you see in URL, I pass the product ID. So this value come to our quarks. So you can get it from quarks product ID. Now after that, that is okay. Now after that, that is okay. We need to check this serializer. So change this to product review serializer. Now save it. After that, let's create another API, which is for product question. So class, let's change this class to this product questions. Product questions list view. Copy it, paste it. I remove this comment. I think I'm gonna see it from the URLs. So yep, change this serializer. It should be product question serializer. Copy it, paste it, and here change this to product question dot objects filter product ID equal to product ID. Let me check. It is should be product ID. It is product ID. So that is okay right now. After that, save this file also. Next, we need to work with create API. So we need to create the product and we need to update the product. So again, just do one thing. Copy this create class create product view, and here generics dot create API view. After the creating class, let me copy it again. File name generics dot create paste it and copy it again. paste it. This time open the date product review and this time review. That's it. Now let's work on this create API. So what I can first we need to add serializer class that is showing right now. Serializer class which is product review serializer, that is okay. Authentication class, JWT authentication, that is okay. Permission class is authenticated, that is also okay. After that we need to perform create. So we need to use define perf mode, define perform create, or let's do it manually. So serializer class equal to product review serializer, then authentication class JWT authentication, permission class is authenticated. Then we need to create a method define perform create taking self and serializer. After that, here what I can do, if self dot request dot data dot get review user underscore id, then in that case what I can take serializer dot save domain user id equal to domain user id, review user id equal to save dot data dot view user id, and here we need to do one more thing. Here we need to access the user. So users dot objects dot get id equal to review user id. Let's import this user, import it from the user service model. After that, I added domain user id, review user id, and product id also added in the pass. If we didn't pass the review user id, then in that case I can say serializer dot save domain user id, product id equal to product id, and also view user id equal to review user id equal to self dot request dot user. I am saving the current user id in the review user id. If there is no review id pass when getting the review, so I can get the current user review as a review id. After that, all thing is okay, I think. Next, we need to work with the create question view. So here do one more thing. While taking the review user id, change this to integer. Maybe it will come in string and cause some error. So I'm taking as an integer. After that, copy this same API and paste it in a product question view. And here change this to product question serializer. The first one is review, second one is question, and here I'm taking if our request contain question, user id, and set request for data, answer user id, then in that case I'm gonna save question user id to question user id. So just copy it again. Answer user id equal to answer user id. If it is exists in the request data, then in that case I can use it. Otherwise, what I can do, I can simply say domain user id, and in the question user id I can take the current user Also doing something in the answer. In the answer user ID, I'm taking the current user ID. So if the request data contains question user ID, I can take it. If it not contain, I will take it the current user ID. I'll show the demo so you can understand better for that case. After that, let's work on our update here. So here again, first adding serializer class, serializer class, product review serializer, then authentication class, then permission class, and define perform underscore update. We are taking serializer. And here what I can do, if there is a review user ID, I can take the review user ID. If it is not contain, I can take the current user ID. But I think I don't need this getting the ID. That is okay. So I can simply do what in update. Simply update my serializer. So serializer dot save. I'm not going to do any changes in the data. But here we need to fetch the exact data. For fetching, we need to use the get query set. So define get underscore query set using self. So return product reviews dot objects dot filter domain user ID equal to self dot request dot domain user dot ID product ID equal to self dot pass product ID. That's it. And we need to access our the review ID. So for accessing the review ID, the review or we can say ID equal to self dot was key. So in the PK key, you can get the primary key and the ID. So you can just pass our domain user ID, product ID, and also the ID to the class which we are accessing the URL of PK. Basically, PK is in the current data which are going to update. After that, next we have to work with our answer or question. You can say again simply just copy whole code, copy it, paste it, change this to product question serializer, and here change to product questions, then product ID, that is okay. Now after that, simply do the perform update operation to update our data. But here I'm going to do one more thing. If I'm going to add some answer, if there is question, I'm going to give some answer. So in that case, I'm going to update the answer, put my current user ID, that is going to reply. It is not passing the user ID or answer ID, then I'm not going to update it. So simply say I'm getting self dot request dot data dot get. If I'm getting any answer or say reply, then in that case I'm just checking if self dot request dot data dot get answer underscore user underscore ID. If there is an answer user ID, then in that case I can get the answer user ID by the answer user ID. So I can update answer user ID. If there is no answer user ID, then in that case I can simply say as serializer.save answer user ID equal to current user ID, which is going to answer it. In the else condition, finally I can say serializer.save. Now save this API. After that, all the API has been created. Now let's check it whether it is working or not. So basically we create 6 API here, 3 for review, 3 for question, The 3-4 question contain list API, create API, update API. Same way, create 3 API for reviews, for review list, for review list, for review update, and for review period. Now after that, let's check it's working or not. So product review list, just copy it. First, select product review and check it's working or not. Click on send. It will pass our ID. So I'm taking the ID D7 and here you go. You can get all the data for reviews. You can see I can get my 4 reviews. That is working fine. If we try to save this data, so save as, creating a new folder for better understanding. Product API. In the product API, get product review list. Save it. After that, I'm also moving this API inside this. Now after that, let's check for question API is working or not. So just copy this question API, stand it, and here we go. Our question API is also working. Let's do this API also. So save as product question list. Save it. So getting one more folder here. Head folder. Giving folder name Earth. Moving this API Earth. Moving this sign API also here. Getting one more last folder. Head folder. Dynamic form API. Move it and move it also here. Move this for edit. Now it's perfect. Let's close it, close it, close it. So our API is working right now. Question list product. After that, let's try to use our next API, which is creating a new question. So what I can do, just duplicate this tab and remove all this thing. Only adding 27 for product ID. Create API, create product question 27. Change the method to post. Coming to the body, we need to pass our JSON data. So if I see the question, let me come to the model. So for product question, we need to pass our question. Paste question. We need to pass our answer. Paste answer. Let's check it's working or not. So click on send. I see something. Cannot assign 27. It must be a Pagination. So here I have create product review. Okay. Here we need to pass our product instance. We need to do it everywhere. So products dot objects dot get id equal to this one. Just copy it and paste it everywhere we are going to use. So copy it, change it also here. Basically it a product instance instead of id. Change it also here. Also there, save it, save it, back to Postman, click on send, and here we go. It's working fine. You can see test answer, test answer, and it's created. Let's save this API. Create product question. Save it. Now after that, let's check review it. So duplicate tab, coming to URs.py with the create review. State in the body page. Let's save this also first. Save this, create product, review. After that, here in the body, what I need to send. Let's check. So in the product review, we need to send review images. That should be a JSON data. So what I can do, I can just copying the data from my database, the images, these images, copy it, paste it, and sending the images in JSON. Next, I need to send the rating and giving the rating like 4. Then you can pass the reviews, test product in this active status. That is okay. That is also okay. Now try to send it. If I send, you can see our review has been created. So after that, need to work with our update here. Just copy this first product poster to the that, and here copying the URL for update poster, copy update poster, and here we have to pass our primary key. So last time if I create the product poster, let's check the ID product poster. The last one which I created test, the ID is 21. I'm passing the 21 slash, and this time using the patch method to build the data and changing only from test question to 1. I could send it. I see. Okay, let me check back to PS4. I come to controller. Okay, here is the issue. I am calling update API but using create API. So change to update API view. Also change it here. Update API view. Because we are going to update the data. Update API view. Come to Postman. This patch method. Now I think it will work. Try to save it. That is okay. It was okay. Here slash is missing. That's why it is causing some issue. Save it. Back to Postman. Here I am sending the slash. Send it. Use patch method. Right. And if I check, I am getting updated question. You can see. So the difference between put and patch is put will write override the complete data and patch will only update the single report. If you see, I use question to update the question. If I try to pass answer also, let me show you. Paste answer 1. Need to send it, and here we go. It's updated. Let's try to save it. To save it, update product question. Save it. Next, we need to work with our update review. So duplicate tab and let's check it's working or not. So again, to the product review, paste it, uh, paste it. Let's check the last ID which I insert in review. So this is the last ID, which is 27. Base product. So 27. Changing this only rating to 5. Rating to 5. And also changing this review to reviews. Let's change it. Reviews. Paste product. Paste. Click on send. And here we go. Our Decorator rating. You see the rating 5 and reviews also. If I check in database, show you for the data. You can see rating 5 and base product paste. It's updated. That is also working. Our update API, create API and list API for review and question. All are working. Let's save this API. CSS, update, product, reviews. After that, let's create one more API for our user list. Basically, I need a API to get all the users which is registered in my domain user. So coming to the backend, into the project, coming to user service, then URLs, and here creating one API for get users or get users. So what I can do is send URL users, and here I'm using user controller using user list view dot as underscore view the underscore list. Let's create this API inside the user controller. So open controller, creating a new file, user controller dot py, and here import user controller. Let's create this API. So again, here last user list view, and here I'm just doing API view. Now we need all the information. So here simply permission class, permission is indicated in authentication class, JWT authentication. Let's import all this thing from this framework import API, permissions, and authentication. After that, all the thing has been done. Let's complete this method, save field, and here simply return all the user list. So users equal to users dot objects dot filter domain underscore user underscore id equal to self, or you can say request dot user or domain underscore user dot id. Let's import this user. It should be user services dot model import user. Now after that, need to return the data. So we need to serialize this data. So for that, let's get a serializer, user serializer, serializer, and here class meta, and here taking all field, not taking all field. I'm just changing it to the array and taking only id, then username, then first underscore name, last underscore name, and also taking the email, and take one more last one, which is profile pic. That's it. So that users or users fetch it and convert this data to serializer. So for that, serializer equal to users man equal to true because we have multiple data. After that, it return the data. So return response data. So instead of saying response, use our common method which is render response and passing data equal to serializer data and status equal to 200. Let's import this render response from our helper method in the project. Now save it and let's check this it is working or not. Possibility to import serializer. So from this number import serializer. So let's check it's working or not. So back to Postman. Taking your it should be /users copied. Come to Postman. Copied column. Try to access users and it should be a get API. And it okay. Need to restart the server I think. It is the virtual environment. It is project. Restarting the server. Restart the front end also. CD front end. CD e-commerce inventory. Medium run start or npm start against it. Now let's check if it is working or not. Click on send and it is giving some error. Okay, message is missing. Let's pass the message. All users save it. Click on send. Click on send. And here we go. You can get all the user details, ID, username, and everything. So it is working fine right now. You can get all the data of users. And after that, we can use this data in our LOB API, or you can say in LOB when getting the views. I can assign the user. So after that, let's work on our front-end application. So let's now after all the thing backend task has been done, let's work on the front-end integration and work with user list, manage reviews, manage questions, add question, update questions, add reviews, update reviews. Let's work on this thing on the front end side. Let's close this backend project, close this backend. And before starting that, let's come to my project, open my project, refresh page. Here, if you see one more thing, here image is getting loading in the background. But right now, I'm not getting any loader kind of thing here. So let's make it enhance. Instead of that, showing the image directly, let's add a shimmer effect. You can say like it is showing loading. After loading is done, it will actually show an image. So how you can use that? Let me show you. So for that, come to VS Code. Just come to VS Code, click on front end, src, component, create a new file, image.js. I'm getting my custom component for this. Then getting the class, or you can say component, const image, then taking the props. After that, here what I can do, return empty fragment, and here creating a state, const load set loaded equal to use state false, const on image load, simply set loaded true. Let's import this use state, import React use state, and here what I can do, if there is any loading, I can say not loaded, then I can sort div with shimmer effect. Let's make it a empty div, empty single div. After that, rendering an image, then rendering all the props. So passing the props completely, and on load, on image load. Now close this image tag. After that, save this file and export it. Export default image. Now if I use this component, I can see a small shimmer effect everywhere. So let me show you. So coming to my pages category, manage category, and if I pass, I think we are using render image. So right now if I see render image, it is using an image tag. Let's change this simply to our custom image and nothing else. This SRC and everything get parsed by props. We don't need to worry about these things like parameter mapping, all these things, because we are completely passing all the props data. Like here, if you see SRC alt style, we are passing all the props data directly to the main image props. You can see I can get all the props. I can simply split the, or you can say spread the props into image tag. Now after that, let's import it. So import, okay, so we import image from image, save it, back to Chrome, press page to see again this time. If I see, like now it is not showing any animation. So let's add some CSS so it will actually show an animation. So come to VS Code, come into my global style in themes file, global style. Here I'm gonna add my styling for shimmer effect. So what I can do right now, here dot shimmer, and here I'm getting width 100%. After that, height 300 pixel. Then after that, background effect. So background linear gradient to right, light, main, then light. This is okay. I think we are exactly getting a gradient with to right from light to main, then light. And I think I can add more thing like to light. Then we can add 8%, and this time I can say 18%, and here I can say 33%. So this is just a gradient CSS. If you don't know about it, you can just search it on Google and just copy paste it to adding a gradient. After that, background size, make it 800 pixel and 104 pixel. Animation, shimmer 1.2 second, infinite. So here I'm gonna create a shimmer animation also. Right now I added a shimmer, but I'm gonna create a shimmer animation keyframe, shimmer keyframe animation also. Then border radius, make it 8 pixel. Then let's get a keyframe. So for creating a keyframe, try to use the keyword add direct keyframe shimmer. Then here what I can do, in 0%, I can make the background position 800 pixel 0, and here same way 800 pixel 0. The first one comes with minus and the 100% will come with plus. Now semicolon, semicolon, the class Shimmer should be exist here. Save it, back to Chrome, refresh page. If I check, this time it is showing but little bit ugly, so it is showing. So what I can do right now, just come to VS Code, adding some margin also. Margin 10 pixel. Let's check this time how it is looking right now. Come to next page. It is showing but not showing so much good. Here instead of setting height in pixel, set it 100%. Let me check. If I check again, if I check again, I think it is looking much better than previous one. Now after that, here if I see, I'm using primary light and primary main. Instead of that, use a background color. That will do much better thing. If I come to theme, we can use background, default, and paper. So what I can do, come to global style. First, I am changing my background to paper. Then changing the background to default. Then changing the background again to paper. Save it, back to Chrome. I see again. Now it is looking much better than previous one. Now after that, let's work on other things. Like if I come to manage category, and if I see my images, I can see only one image at a time. But suppose that I have multiple images, then how I can see that? So we need to implement one more feature. So we can preview all the images here instead of going to next page. So suppose that I have ID 18. Let's come to database for the categories. Scroll down, scroll up, and we have 18. Suppose that we have multiple images. Right now it is one image, but suppose that I'm copying it. One at one, one at two. Okay. Suppose that I have three images. Now in that case, I can see only one image for the ID 18. I can't see the other three images. So we need to work on this thing also. So let me show you how you can do this thing also. Now after that, let's work on the other things. Like if I click on the view images, I can see the other images. So I'm gonna add one button here, and on clicking the button, icon button, I can see the other images on the category page. So let's work on it. So for that, come to VS Code again, and here coming to my closing all the file, and coming to my manage category page. And here, what I gonna do, I'm just getting some state. So first, I'm creating on so images set. So set so images equal to use state pause, then const selected images comma set selected images. After that, what I can do, like let's add a button. So on the image, like it is the image part. On the image, I'm gonna add a button. Let's add a fragment, empty fragment, and here And let's do one more thing. Instead of segment, use box display flex, and here after that I'm just adding icon button. So icon button, and here I'm gonna add a icon panorama. I think it is panorama 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 rounded. So I'm using this icon to show a button, save it back to VS Code. I see, I can see a button which is for showing all the other images. So what I can do, on clicking this button, I'm gonna calling a function. So on click, so uh, let's do it directly here. On click, to images, to, and before that, let's set the image. So set selected images params dot row dot image. I think it is image. That's it. So I'm setting it in the selected image params dot row dot image. Now save it. After setting this, I can show a div. So here, data grid here. What I can do right now, I'm creating a grid. Let's create a grid container. Again, creating a grid item access 12 SM 6 and LG equal to 12. Also SM, make it 12. Let's close this, and also adding spacing 2. Let's close this grid here. Close this grid here. Now I'm again creating a new grid for showing our images. So here and here I am setting style, or instead of style use SX, right? 600 pixel maximum, and uh, overflow Y, make it auto. After that, I'm going to render all my images in the div. So for that, what I can do, simply use images, or you can say selected images dot length greater than 0. Then in that case, I'm going to render my all images here. Selected images dot map item images. Here render my all images. So box display flex justify content center padding 2 and showing my all the images here. So here I am showing my all the images. Here we don't need render image. I am going to use image tag directly. Image tag, and here passing src equal to image. Right. After that is done, and I'm going to show this div only when I enable show images. Show images enable. In that case, I'm going to show my this div and making its for mobile devices 12, for small devices make it 6, For large devices, make it 4. Here same thing I am doing. If it is for mobile devices, make it 12. That's it, okay. For small devices, make it 6. For large device, make it 8. So you can see 8 plus 4, 12, perfect. Then 6 plus 6, perfect. And 12 and 12 are perfect. So save it. Back to Chrome. Test page. And let's check. Okay, by default it is showing. So show images. It should be false. Here I check. Get selected images. Let's show images. Save it. Refresh page. By default it is showing active. Let me check why it is showing active. So it is expanding our height. Let's do one more thing. In data grid, set the auto height. Otherwise it will break our flow. Data grid. Just coming to my data grid and make auto height true. Otherwise it will keep scrolling and break our flow. So save it. This page. Coming to manage category. Now you can see it's perfect. Otherwise it will get continuous scrolling and breaking our flow. Now after that, here if you see it's taking the space. So here I need to add a condition. If show image true, then in this case it is 6, otherwise it is 12. Similar way here, show image is enable, then make it 8, otherwise make it 12. Save it. If I check, you can see it is perfect right now. So after that, if I click on or just refresh the page first, and if I click on image, you can see I can see the other images. It is perfectly working. If I click again, it is showing my images in right side. After that, I'm gonna add some crossbar. So by clicking on crossbar, I can close the image and also showing the title. So here, coming to VS Code. Here, after grid, adding a box, and here taking margin 2. So the just changing the padding to 2 to 1, and here giving display flex, and after that justify content center, and in state of center using space between. So it will keep the things on two sides. And now I'm giving the title, which is category images, and second one is a close button. So close. Let's move the color. Now on clicking the this close button, I can simply close the images. So save it. Also giving a divider. Save it. Back to Chrome. Now you can see it is looking perfect than previous one. It is looking perfect than previous one. If I click this one, I can see the other images, and it is showing a scrolling bar. So I can scroll and see the other images. If I click on close, I can close it. If I click again, I can open the images. Instead of making 4, make it 3. So I think that will be a better. I'll make it. Let's try to close it. And to make it 3. I think 3 is perfect. So for make it 3. For SM, I think make it 4. And here SM, make it 8. And here make it 9. Save it. I check. Now it is looking perfect. If I open it, I can see the images. If I click on it, I can see all the images. I can simply close it. That is a complete different UI. Is really beautiful because you can see the full feature. If I click, I can expand the UI and show the images here. If I close it, I can close it and expand the data grid. That is a cool feature. Now after that, we need to implement this thing on child item. So in child item, I think that is not working. If I scroll up, expand it. If I see there is no button, add a button here. So for that, what I come to VS Code, and here what I can do in the image children item, see the manage category. Let's come to the expandable row. Here is the image section. So here I can give it a box. Display text, close the box, adding a button, icon button, adding the icon, panorama, panorama. Let's check the icon name. It's I think panorama rounded. Copy it, paste it. After that, import it. So panorama rounded. After that, need to add a event. So on click here, we need to pass two methods. First one is show images and set selected images. So find expandable row, and here what I can do, set selected images equal to set selected images, then show images equal to show images. So I'm just passing my parent method to child method, or I think it should be set show images and set show images. So I'm passing my parent method of selected and show images to child method. So here coming back, I'm just doing what, if selected images, then show selected images, good, else or just like using this way. If I have set selected images, then set it. Okay. I need to define this also. So here define it, set some images and select set selected images. Let me check again. Set selected images. So here, if there is show images, I can set it. Then after that, So images, then I can say params.grow not image. Save it. Now let's check. It's working for not. So back to Chrome. Refresh page. Open any child item. So suppose that now open this child item. I'm clicking on this image, and you can see it's working fine. If I try to open this image, it is working fine for child and parent item. Both way it is working right now. After that, there is one thing which I want to show you. If I come to the responsive website, display, if I come to my image, where is the image? If I click on it, I can't scroll to the bottom, so I can't see whether the image is showing on what's name. So we need to make it a little bit like make UI more interactive. If I click on the image button, I can scroll down to below. So for this, we need to use React reference. So let me show you how you can use this. So for this, scroll up, just scroll up top, and here I'm going to create reference post div equal to use reference, or you can say div image. Then what I can do, this grid reference equal to div image. Now after clicking on show images, I can simply navigate to that section. So for that, what I can say, use effect. If there is any data changes, if there is any image changes, or you can say data changes, or you can say just if there is any image changes, means someone click on the button. In that case, I want to scroll this. I want to scroll to that section. So simple suggestion is showing if there is so image selected. In that way, I'm just scrolling my cursor or page from deep image to current to scroll view to that current section. So just scrolling my browser to the current section. So save it, back to Chrome. Let's check the trace page. Is it working or not? Click on it, and you can see it's working perfectly. Again, if I click this image, I can see, you can see I can just scroll to the bottom. If I click this image, I can successfully scroll to the D. So in that way, you can see the images of categories and everything. Let's do it for products also. So coming to the products, here also we need to show the images. So for this, what I can do again, just copy the code of this one. Coming to the products, manage product. Pasting it here simply. Let's add this reference also. So just come here. I need only 2 3 state, this one and this TV image. Copy it, paste it. Don't need this one, and here it's done. Import the use reference. After that, same way here, like adding a div, or you can say grid container, spacing to again grid item access 12, sm equal to 8, lg equal to 9. Let's close this grid. I'm closing this grid here. After that, creating a new grid, just copy that grid which I created earlier. Scroll down and copy this grid for showing images. Copy it and paste it. After that, let's import this image also. So import this close button. Now all thing is perfect. After that, we need to add a condition here again. So again, same way, just copy this condition. And it's done. After that, on clicking the image button, we need to show this thing. So here in the image, just using the same code, image one with the complete code and paste it. Both are same. Remove the first one and it's done. Import this icon, panorama, rounded, save it, back to Chrome, press page, and let's check it's working or not. Also, we need to add the auto height here. You can see it is completely scoring again and score. Infinite scoring is showing. So let's add auto height here. So in the data grid, auto height, save it, manage product. Now you can see it's perfect. If I click on this icon, I can see the product images here, and it is showing me completely vast image. So we need to make it little bit smaller size. I check the image size. If there is no height set or width set, so for this, what I can say, type width 100%. Also set this to manage category page. That is important thing. If the image is large, it will look ugly. So we need to take care of this also. Save it. Now if I check, I can see it's looking perfect. It's checking the complete width and it is looking much better than previous one. If I close it, it's again if I click this one, click this one, or click this one, you can see it's working fine. Change this title to product images. That's it. Click on it again. You need to refresh page. I have done in the product page, category page. Close this page. Product images. Save it. You can see it's showing product images. So that is working right now perfectly. If I check with mobile devices, start, you go to mobile devices. If I click on the images, you can see it's scrolling down and working perfectly. If I click again, it's working right now. That's it. It's done. Next, we need to work with other things like showing the reviews and rating. So let's work on it. And after that, on clicking the view question, I can show the questions, and click on view, I can show the answer. So what I can do, come to VS Code, and here let's add two state, or say one state or two states. Let me add it first. First, so reviews, set so reviews, first, so questions, first, selected product ID, set selected product ID. After that, on clicking the button, I can make it true. So what I can do, scroll down, on clicking the button of question. So I click on view questions, on click, so questions two, so reviews false, and selected product ID, product params dot row dot ID. Same way, copy this, and do it also in the reviews. This time, question make it false, review make it true. After that, save this file, and gonna create two more grid, or just create a dialog content. So here, uh, just copy this dialog, paste it, and this time I'm gonna show this only when I go reviews. Go review, close, go reviews false, and here I can say product reviews. Just copy it, paste it, so questions, so questions, and so questions false, product questions. Save it to Chrome, and let's check. If I click on view, okay, it's not a function. It should be set to questions false, set scope reviews false. Save it, and here in top, let's check what I added. It should be set to questions, set to questions, set so reviews, set so reviews, set selected, set selected. Save it. Now refresh page again. If I check again this time, click on questions. You can see it is showing the dialog for questions. If I click on reviews, I can see the dialog for reviews. Also do one more thing. Here I'm gonna doing one more thing. In dialog, right now in dialog it is not looking so much large. So what I can do, I will make it max width equal to LG. So it will make a dialog more large. Do it also here. Do it also here. Also do it. Save it. Back to Chrome. Type check. Now you can see. If I click on this additional, you can see a better dialog. I see. This is better than previous one. I click on question. Right now it is empty. I click on reviews. You can see the review dialog. That is perfect. Now after that we need to render our component here. So what I can do, for that I'm just copying my manage category page. Just copy it and pasting it here. Changing the name from category to manage reviews or JS. Changing the file name, manage reviews. Copy it. Changing the manage reviews. After that, I'm gonna do one more thing. Changing the API out or API URL. Now it is calling the form. It is calling the, I think, form API. So changing the API route. Coming to the Postman. Checking the route. So if I check the route for product API, get product review, copy this review URL. We need to pass our product ID. So here I am using formatting way. Product underscore ID. Product underscore ID. After that is, I think, okay. Now save it. Come to manage product and let's render it here. The manage review, manage reviews. Then product underscore ID equal to selected product ID. Save it. Back to Chrome. Can't so okay. I don't need expandable row here in the manage category page or manage review page. Close the manage category. Here I don't need it. Save it. Find expandable row. Okay. Move this. Save it. I check again. This page. Click on review. There is some error. Let's check. Click on network tab. Click on network tab. Network tab. I check again. Reviews. Okay. I move the. I think I missed slash in the URL. It should be a slash. Save it. Again checking. Manage reviews. And you can see it's looking better right now. I can see my whole data. I can see my whole data. You can see. I can see my all the reviews here perfectly. But here the background of dialog is not looking so good. It is not actually matching to the theme. So let's change it. So for that, come to VS Code. and come to the global style. And here, after that silver effect, adding one more design dot MUI dialog content root dialog control root. Make it a background color. Background color palette background default. Save it back to Chrome. Now it is matching to the theme, which is looking much better than previous one. So after that, I can see my all the reviews. I don't need this expand button, so let's remove it in the manage review. I don't need this expand button. Remove it. After that, I don't need also this thing. I don't need action because I don't want to edit the review. Maybe I can update the review, but I don't want to edit the review. So I can remove this also. After that, I don't have children, so remove it also. I have only review images. So review underscore images. Save it back to Chrome. Now after that, review images showing no image. I click next. There is no images showing. I check the API. Data review underscore images. Has exactly images, but it is not showing. To check data, then it has a review underscore images. Review underscore images. Okay, it should be review underscore images. Now after that, should be review images. Now save it and let's check. This time it is showing the images, and if I click on this, I can show my sidebar with these images also. If I move to mobile devices, click on this, it's working fine, and scoring also working. So in that way, I implement the reviews. Here do some changes. Now if you see, I don't need this one, this breadcrumb. So what I can do in this page, I gonna cut this code to manage review. Of this thing, and here adding box display flex justify content space between reviews, and here I'm adding a button for add reviews. So it should be like not a icon button add reviews. On click, let's say remove this for now. Start icon, We need to button also. Button start icon, then add, add, add circle, save it, back to Chrome. I see this time product reviews. And it is showing a button. Let's change the button to variant content. Saved it. You can see add review button. After that, view title, add reviews. I can try to search also. Best, let's see best product. That is also working. And I can see all the reviews. After that, I click on this also. It's working right now. Change the title also. So here it should be review images. That's it. After that, let's work on add reviews and also add a button to toggle the value for status like active to deactive and inactive to active. So for that, what I can do, just come to top here, just copy this front design, moving this to status. Here, just adding uh, rms.go auto status equal to tick, then showing the active button. Variant content and color access is active, so a button success is not active, so a button error inactive. After that, save this file back to Chrome and I can see the button active. If I try to sort it, let's add a button portable. So remove this, save it, sort it. All are active right now. So let's add a function call on click toggle status ID and assume our inactive. Here ID passing active. Just create this create solution params dot go dot ID. Also here params dot row dot ID. Let's create this method. So const toggle status. Then here change this to get reviews. We will change this to get reviews, and get reviews. After toggle calling the API, let's check the update API. So I think this is the update API for reviews. You just copy these routes plus products plus update product reviews. Then we to pass the product ID. Then review ID. So dollar related, or you can see product ID, then ID, hash method, status. Save it. Let's check it's working or not. Back to Chrome. I click on active. Let's open the network tab so I can see what happened. If I click on active, it's calling the API. I think there is something issue. It should be body, not data. Save it. So that if I click again, active, I can see inactive status. If I click again, inactive. If I click again, if 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 I click check, something is not working. I click this one. Okay, I am sorting in different sorting order. Try to use this way. Active and inactive. Active and active. That is working fine right now. I can simply toggle this status of reviews. I can see the images of, okay, here is something issue, I think. Let me check. Refresh page. Click on reviews. I am seeing 2 times review column. So if I see the VS Code, review images, else with else, and in this to review images, then change this to review images. Save it. Refresh page. I'll check again. This time use. You can see the images. That is perfect right now. Click on it. It's done perfect. If I try to toggle, it is also working. Right now, this is working. Let's do one more thing. Here, instead of showing rating value, let's show a rating bar. So what I can do, rating, and here rating. Here show it, rating. Here value equal to build uh, params dot row dot rating read only. For that, and the end showing a text of the review. So remove this thing, typography, variant, that's 6 params dot row dot rating. Save it. I check. You can see it is showing, but not looking so good. Let me see what I can do. Uh, or padding top 2 pixel. Here instead of showing S6, let's show a subtitle. Let me check. Change this to top one. Remove this variant. Save it. Now it's look better. I think we can add one more margin. Two, three. Now it's perfect. I can see the rating and everything is perfect. Fine. I think all the thing has been okay right now. You can see everything here. Let's work on this ad review. So on clicking the ad review, I need to open a left side, right side again and show a form for adding the inputs. So what I can do, again scroll down. There is show images. Copying this same thing again. Go add reviews. Add reviews. Here I don't need this image. Let's copy it. So add review. Set. So add reviews. Set show images. Here after showing images, set so add reviews false. Where the place image is showing, I will make sure review is not showing. After that, button on clicking this add review, I wanna show add reviews. So on click, set so add reviews true, set so images false. Save it back to Chrome, and if I see again, click on add reviews, you can see in the below. Just because here I need to add one more condition. So add reviews. If these two conditions satisfied, so add reviews. Save it. Now if I see, I can see the add reviews here. Need to add a close event. So on close, set go review false. If I click on this, I close it. If I open an image and try to click add reviews, so that is gone, and it show me this add review. And if I open the add review and click on image, add review gone, I can see the images. So it will take the place from anyone, like whether if you're showing images, I can show the ad. If you show the ad review, I can show the images. Close it. Let's work on ad reviews. So here we need to create a form. So here again I'm using a React hook form to adding the data. So for this, what I can do, just come to VS Code. Basically, we need a review rating and a file input for review images. So what I can do right now, just creating the form here. So first adding the form, provider. Then adding the form, and here I'm gonna adding the inputs. So first adding the text field, label, review, and here what I can do, register. Let's import these registers and other things. So first we need to import the React hook form. So what I can do, scroll up, const methods equal to use for, so that const register equal to method watch, then set value, then form state, errors, and control. I import all the things from method from the React hook form. I'm going to use these things below. Then after that, I'm creating a method. So const on submit add review async data console.log data. Hold down, and here in the form, I'm going to do what? First, adding the methods. So here methods, it will be methods, methods. After that, on submit methods dot handle submit, passing our own add submit review. After that, just register our inputs. So register reviews and passing required root. After that, okay. Next, we need to show the error message. So error equal to, if there is error and error contain reviews, then show the errors. Same hypertext. If there is any errors for the reviews, then in that case, show the message. This field is required if there is any error in the form. After that, just copy it again, and this time I'm going to use a controller. So here we need to use a rating bar, but we can't change the value rating bar of the MUI directly because it is a control component. So we need to use a controller of the React hook form to control that data of the React rating bar, to control the React rating bar. So for that, using controller, inside that, what I can do, I'm gonna add name rating, control, default value 0, render rating, and field. After that, name rating, default value 0. Precision 1. So precision is like 1 or 0.5. How much value you want to update in the rating. After that, that is okay, I think. Next, we need to work with other things. So here, I need to show a message. In case is there any error in the rating bar or rating bar is not filled. So in that case, again, I use the concept errors rating. Then this field is required. I can show a message. After that, I'm gonna implement one more thing, which is autocomplete. So I'm gonna show autocomplete for the user list. Autocomplete. Uh, Here again register. This time to use review underscore user underscore ID and required true. After that, options user list and get option level and convert value default value, or you can instead of writing this way, you can use a more better approach. Let me show you. Just come to your uh, thread component. Here already written. Just copy this code and paste it here. That's it. In this field name to review underscore user underscore ID. Here reviews ID I'm getting from here product review. If I see the data, it has a review underscore ID. Then we need to make it true. Field option user list watch review user underscore ID. Here options change this to, we don't need options, just remove it. We don't have default value here or null. And here instead of option, we need to use user list. Right now there is no user list. I'm going to create it. So after that, here review underscore user underscore ID. Here label review user review underscore user underscore ID. And there also here let's register this state and also getting a button. Submit add review full with start icon save uh, save alt founded. After that, just get this list. So scroll up. That's why I get it a user API, so we can get the user over here and do it again. Copy it, paste it, it user list. So again, calling the API. So here getting the reviews. Here get reviews. Also get the here I don't need it. I need only one time. So I check our application is running one time. Just create one more user effect. So use effect. So here you can get the user list. Get user list. Let's create this method. Const get user list. Listen all API users. I think this API is for check user list path and users path path then users path then users. That's it. After getting the result, I'm just result dot data. I check the API. It has result dot data dot data. So result dot data map and getting a new item with item dot id and value. I'm using first name, or I think you can use email value. I'm using email. Now save it back to Chrome and refresh the page back to Chrome. If I try to add review, I can see the details and I can see the users. Let's do one more thing. Here add some margin. So back to VS Code. Bottom, bottom, margin bottom. If I check, it's not taking. I think we need to use SX. X bottom. So let's copy it. Paste also here. So pasting here. So pasting it here. Save it. Now it is look much better than previous one. So after that, I test. Let's open the console also, so I can check the form data in console. Paste. If I directly try to submit, I can see the error. Let's make it paste. Add reviews. Add reviews, and you can see it is submitting our form. Perfect. Let's submit this form. So for this, I'm gonna calling my API for create rating. So I'm submitting the form. Also, I don't need this the method. Remove it. Then after getting the submit, we need to call the API. So const result call API. Change the API URL. Create product review. Just call this API. Body data result create reviews. So add reviews false. Save it back to Chrome. And if I try it again, add reviews. Try to add reviews. When it will tab, add reviews. It's showing me some error. The review image is not showing. Let's see the issue. Let's render our review images over here. For review images, what I can do, uh, file input component, we need to pass field. So that is the advantage of creating the common component. I created a file input component, and here I can simply pass our field name. Review underscore images. Now save it to Chrome, and if I check, you can see it's showing our file input. If I try to save, also I need to pass required tool in the image. So here, required tool and label review images. Save it, back it home. Now you can see showing review images. If I try to save, you can see the message. And here let's add some margin bottom in the error message. So in the common component, if there is any error, just add some margin bottom, margin top, margin bottom 10 pixel. Save it. I click again. I can see the message. Now let's try to submit it. Paste, review, clear it. Review user admin. Using the images, use these two images. Then let's make it large. Also adding some margin in the button because it is a little bit compact. So uh, okay, it should be linear progress. I need to do it for you. Save it, and it's perfect. Simply upload the files. After that, also adding the margin bottom here. Try to add the review, and here we go. I can successfully add my review. You can see its rating is 0, and I just recently added. I try to add new review. Also, we need to reset this form. So for after submitting the form, we need to reset it. So manage review, submit, reset. It should be come from here. Reset. Save it. Back to Chrome. Let's try it again. Add review. Giving 4 star. Selecting the review images. Load files. Click on add review. And you can see I successfully give the rating 4 star and the image also uploaded. And see the image is uploaded and it is working fine. So that is the advantage of the first steps. For previously tutorials, I created lots of things like dynamic component, file input component. Right now you can see the importance of file input component. I create one time, but I can use it anywhere, anytime. I need to add the field name and I can use it. After that, the image is uploaded. So our manage review is ready. After that, here review user ID. Just show the username and product ID. I think that is okay. But let's show the product review user ID name. So back to VS Code and come to our API backend, commerce inventory, product services, controller, product controller. Here a review underscore underscore ID equal to serializer method get user ID, username, done. Now back to Chrome. If I refresh page and try to check review, I can exactly, I think I can get exactly user ID. You can see I am getting the user ID with username. That is perfect. I think. Now after that, uh, let's work on the our managed questions or product question. You can say let's work on this thing. So for same way, I just have my manage review. Just close all the file, close the backend, close the src, open pages, products. Just copy the manage reviews, paste it here, and rename it to manage questions.js. After that, let's import it also in manage product. So here, just same way, manage questions. Okay, need to change the function name, manage questions, copy it, then export it. Here, same way, questions, product ID, save it. Let's cut this code to manage questions. And here, if I see product reviews, change to product questions, save it, back to Chrome, this page. If I check again, question, I can see the review, not the question, but I can see the reviews. Now let's work on this question part. So let's change the API. So come to VS Code, and this time I need to change the API. Change this first to get reviews to get questions. Copied, get questions, get questions. Here change this path or route or URL to get question in it. Just copy this product questions, paste it. After that, everything is okay. Change this update API to update product questions. Copy it, paste it, and we don't need review images, so remove it. We don't need rating, remove it. After that, all the thing is okay right now. I think next product questions. So add review to change to so add questions. So add questions. Get questions. So set. So questions. With that, if I check again, go add questions, right? Go add questions, add questions, and here add questions. Right? So add questions. Go add questions. Save it back to Pro. If I check, now I can get our questions, answer, and status. That is perfect. So that I think we need to make these questions and answer a little bit long. So for that, I think I can do a simple approach. Here I see, just copy this same route, just copy it, cut it. Else, if we equal to questions, question, question, in that case, make 250. It is answer, make with 250. Save it, press page, and let's confirm it's working. So it will check away question. I can see the width. It's much better than previous one. Has more width. If I want, I can take it more, like 300. Save it. Now it is looking better. Question answer, and I can active, deactivate it. Let's check why it is not working. Network tab, click on active. It is saying forbidden error. I check the API products, product question answers. Let me check the API. Update product questions. It is calling product questions, so that is wrong. Let's update the API. For updating the API, toggle, update API, save it. This time if I check, if inactive, and it's working fine. You can see, activate it and deactivate it. That is working right now. After that, if I click on add question, it shows me this UI, which is not required. I need to work with add question. So if I need simple UI with question input, what I can do, back to VS Code, and uh, here I'm noticing one more thing. If I scrolling, changing the screen size, it get compressed and it is showing this scrolling bar. So I think we need to make a little bit large for SM devices. Let's make it 7 and make it 5 for small screen. Save it. Now it's perfect. It is not getting compressed. But coming to this, I come to the mobile devices. So it is scroll down. I click on add question. I need to one more thing will to work on it. If I click on add question, I also need to scroll down below. So do one thing. So again, I need to scroll it down, but I'm not able to do. So for the add question, so in that case, I have to do one more thing. Come to yes code. Selected images is showing, and also set uh, so add question for images or so add questions. Then in both cases, need to scroll down. Same way we need to do it for the reviews also. I think here I change for images for add reviews. In both cases, I need to scroll it down. Save it. Back to Chrome. I check again. Click add question. First, let's try to close it. Click on question. Add question. It's working fine. Now let's update this form. So in the question, I just need a question and answer input. I don't need this other input. Just close it. Here I need only question and answer input. For all the things, question, answer. Question, question, and question. And here answer, answer, and answer. That's it. After that, add question and answer. Add question and answer. Save it. Back to Chrome. Okay, that's fine. Let's work on this submitting of this question and answer. So I have to work on this. Uh, so for this, what I can do, just enter submit add question, scroll up on add submit question. We need to create a new question. So just checking the API, create product questions, paste it, copy it, paste it, and save it. Now let's see it's working or not. Back to Chrome, try to add, paste question 1 2, paste answer 1 2, add question answer, and it's done. You can see my question has been added. Now after that, I need to add an edit button for question answer. I don't need this for edit. I don't need this for review, but I need this for question answer. So what I can do, just coming scroll up or scroll down in the columns, adding a action column again. So field action, header name action with 100, render cell, display, select images. I don't need these images, I need this edit button. So here, edit, let's check, click, just move all this thing right now, save it, and if I check, it is showing edit note, not so good. Save it, don't need edit note, I need edit only. Let's check what is the edit icon. I check edit, it's only edit. So yeah, it's working I think. Back to Chrome. I can see the edit icon. Let's make it color. Success. Or make it uh, primary. I click on this pin to edit this review. So what I can do, click set, add, provide questions, true, set, so images false. I think here is no images, so we don't need the image thing. Selected images, remove that. We don't need this images section because it is not exist in the question part. Remove it. Remove it. Show images. I don't need it. Show images. I don't need it. That's it. After that, we need to work with our edit question. So edit, on clicking the edit, let's do a simple approach. I just use my add one to use edit. I want to use my add form to work with edit. So what I can do, in the edit, click, let's make a function. Edit question params dot row dot id or pass dot row completely, pass it. Then creating a method const edit question, and here I'm gonna say set value question, set value answer. Then after that, so add question true. And now after that, here what I can do, this is come with edit category. So what I can show, I can create one more state. Is edit open set is edit button. When click on edit, I can make state is edit to, or instead of that, I have better idea. Uh, edit ID, set edit ID. Default make it null. So on clicking it, on clicking, pass it row.id. After that, what I can do, mm, for the add one, I need to make it null. When I click on add, I need to make it null. So if I click on add here, I need to make it null. So uh, set edit ID null on add case. After that, if there is ID, edit ID. So edit else, so add, and here that is okay. This will check, this will get value by our set value method. And here final thing what I have to do, after that on add question, if there is edit heading, I need to call the update product question. Result equal to null. Else if there is edit ID, I can make it edit. If there is edit ID, I can make the update product question. If there is update or create, I can create a questions, edit ID and patch. That's it. If there is edit, I can edit. If there is a create, I can create it. After that, set edit ID null. Save it back to Chrome. If I check again, try to edit it, you can see I can get the value here. If I have to update 12x, 12x, update, you can see it's get updated. If I click on add, I can create a new questions. Also, let's make it update. So if I come down, if there is update, edit, then make it update. Let's add question answer. Save it. Okay. Now if I try to edit this one, paste question 2, 1, 1, 2. Update it. It's done. If I try to add new one, paste x3, paste ax3, and you can see it's working fine. So our all the thing has been completed for our products and categories. Let's add one more thing here. In the answer user ID, return the user ID and username for both. So to this code, and let's do it also. So for backend, the commerce inventory, product services, controller, product controller, question user ID equal to method, answer user ID method, find question user ID, answer ID, and answer ID. Save it. refresh page, try it again. If I check again, I can see the question user ID, answer user ID, their ID with their username. That is perfect. So I have done all the things in my backend and frontend for the products and the category. So basically I cover how to show the images with preview in your page, how to create API for questions, how to create API for reviews, how to add new reviews, how to update reviews, how to update questions, how to add new questions, then how to update the status using toggle feature, then how to use uh, how to implement shimmer effect in your page. So that's all for now. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching. Please like our video and please subscribe our channel. And if you have any question, please do comment.